Today we are going to be doing a Hatha yoga stretch. We're going to stretch all the way from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers, all the way up to the top of the head. If you feel like you need energy flowing through your body, if you suffer from lower back pain, or if you feel like you just want a nice juicy Hatha yoga stretch, then this class is for you. I'm going to be using a strap today, but if you don't have one available, you can use a towel or a belt. Let's start by coming onto our backs and just taking 5 deep breaths to settle in, to take in how we're feeling and to feel into the physical body. I like to start with my knees bent and my feet flat, especially because my hamstrings are tight. Take one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your chest and begin with a cleansing breath. Inhale deeply through your nostrils. Exhale out of your mouth. Let's take 4 more breaths like that. Feel your body and your muscles start to relax here. Take your final cleansing breath. And then close your mouth and just start to inhale and exhale through the nostrils. Feel the weight of your body sink down into the floor. And continue feeling your body relax. Keeping that stillness, take your arms out over above you, so you're reaching up towards the sky or the ceiling. And on an inhale, I want you to lift your shoulders and your arms up and off the floor. So you're reaching up, but keeping your head and your back on the ground. And on the exhale, simply relax your shoulders down, but keep your arms elevated. Let's do that 2 more times. So we're stretching into the upper back, breathing in, reaching up, and breathing out, relaxing down. After your third one, inhale, reach your arms back behind you and take your arms onto your elbows, your hands onto your elbows. Feel your arms and the space around your armpits relax and take 3 breaths here. Focus on breathing into your chest. Begin to tune into your body and notice what you're feeling. Notice areas of tightness, or soreness or stiffness. And try to feel them soften as you exhale. After your third breath out, inhale, reach your arms back up to the sky or the ceiling. And as you exhale, float your hands down to touch your heels. Next breath in, I want you to inhale, reach your arms up and all the way back behind you. And then exhale to float them back down beside your heels. 2 more like that, breathing in. Notice what's happening for you around the shoulders and around the chest. And after that third round, simply bring your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze inwards and start to circle them to massage into your lower back. Keep breathing. change the direction of the rotation. Keep breathing. And then from here, place your feet flat on the floor. Take your right ankle, place it onto your left thigh, and draw that left leg in. Hold here for 3 breaths. You should feel a stretch in the outside of that right leg. So just find the edge of the stretch where it feels good, where it feels like you're extending the muscle. And as you exhale, try to draw that left leg in closer and relax your right leg. Let's change over to the other side. Take a deep breath in. Find the edge of the stretch on that left leg. And on the next 2 breaths, breathe it in. And on the exhale, relax that left leg, draw the right leg in close. Good. Release both legs. This time bring them to a 90-degree angle. Take your arms into cactus arms beside you. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop your legs over to the right side. Again, find the edge of the stretch. So find a place where it feels comfortable to stretch, where it doesn't feel like you're engaging anything that's painful. And on the exhale, just try to soften into the stretch. Feel your body relax, as though someone's throwing a really heavy blanket over your body. Next breath in. Inhale your legs back to center, back to that 90-degree angle, and exhale them over to the other side. Take 3 breaths here. And once that's done, just come back to center. Give your knees another squeeze into your chest. And before we stretch into our hamstrings, we're just going to stretch the fronts of our thighs. So take your hands beside you. Make sure that your fingertips can touch your heels. And we're going to lift up into a bridge pose. So take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly curl your spine up off the floor. Engage your glutes a little bit as you do so. And press your hips up to the ceiling. Instead of bearing the weight just in the feet, press down into the hands, feel the weight in the shoulders, a little bit in the back of the head. And with each breath in, try to lift your hips up higher and try to press down into the hands and the feet a little more on the exhales. Take 2 more breaths like that. After the second exhale, hold your breath out and slowly roll your spine down onto your mat. Nice. Draw those knees into your chest. And from here, let's take a hold of the strap, the belt or the towel, and let's loop it around the ball joint, so it's that first knuckle of your right foot. Take the strap into your hands and slowly extend your right leg up, and feel free to keep that left leg either extended on the floor or bent with your foot on the floor. From here, just make sure that the strap is nice and extended so that your arms are nice and long and relaxed. And make sure that the back of your leg is not hurting. So if your hamstring muscles are a little tight, as mine are today, there might be a bend, it might be quite exaggerated, and that's okay. But if they're feeling quite flexible, you might like to straighten your leg all the way out. It doesn't really matter how bent that leg is to begin with, because what we're going to do is we're going to slowly loosen that strap until we find a space where we feel comfortable straightening that right leg. And that might be all the way down here. Alrighty, so find that edge of the stretch, that space that feels good where there's no pain. For me, it's about here today. And simply relax your arms, lock them into place, lock your hands around that strap. And as you breathe in, I want you to inhale and press your heel away from you. And as you exhale, I want you to gently start bending into the elbows, and that will draw your leg closer towards you, but don't bend that knee. And then inhale, again, press the heel away. And as you exhale, gently bend your elbows. And if you find that's your limit there, then just hold there. And for the next 2 breaths, just breathe into that space and don't worry about drawing the leg in closer. Just press that heel away. So just breathe with me here. Inhaling to press the heel. And exhaling. Let's take one more full deep breath together. Good, then take the strap into your right hand. Take your left arm and your left hand beside you, and take your left hand now onto your left hip. And then slowly start to open that right leg out to the side, and as you do so, breathe in and press the heel away at the same time. As you exhale, you might like to draw that leg in closer towards you, but don't do so if it means that you're going to bend the knee. Just take 3 more breaths here. So pressing the heel away as you breathe in. We're going to engage that same principle for every variation of this pose. And as you exhale, you can either hold or draw the leg closer. Good, and then very gently after the exhale, hold the exhale out, lift the leg back to center, swap hands, breathe in, and breathe out. And for this next variation, we're going to extend the left leg out. We're going to press that left heel away as well, and this is going to engage the left leg and keep it feeling strong. And then I want you to take your right hand onto your right hip and just create some space by pressing your left thigh away from you. So physically push it away. Take a deep breath in to press the heel up and away. Breathe it in. And as you exhale, press that right thigh away from you and gently drop your right leg over to the left side. You can employ that drawing in on the exhale as you want. What you want to make sure happens here, though, is that your right hip bone is on the floor. So you don't want to curl over like this. This isn't a twist. It's a stretch into our piriformis, which is a muscle that runs on the outside of the leg. So it should feel quite intense, even with a slight tilt of the leg. Keep employing that principle of breathing in and pressing the heel away. And just simply draw the leg in closer towards you as you exhale. You really don't need to go far to feel this stretch. 2 more rounds of breath. Good, and when you're ready, draw that leg back in towards you. Bend the knee this time, release the strap, and just circle your ankle to loosen out any tightness there. Circle it the other way. And before we change sides, what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand onto our right knee, our left hand onto our left shin, and we're just slowly going to circle that whole leg, massaging into where the femur, the leg bone, meets the hips. And change direction just for 1 breath. Good, and then drop that right foot to the floor, lift your left leg up, bend the knee, take the strap or the towel or the belt and bring it around the ball of your foot. Extend your leg up. Notice for me that left leg is a lot tighter than the right because I'm right foot dominant. So what I want to do is extend the leg and it's going to come here today. That's where it feels comfortable when it's straightened out. Again, please avoid pain. If you're pushing through pain, you can pull a muscle, and that's not what yoga is about. So keep that leg nice and straight at a comfortable space. Take a deep breath in to press the heel away. And as you exhale, draw it in towards you if it feels good. 3 more breaths. After the third exhale, take the strap into your left hand. Right hand comes onto the right hip. And inhale to open your left leg out to the side. Press the heel away. As you exhale, draw it in close to a point where it feels good. Keep doing this for 2 more breaths. After the exhale, hold your breath out, draw that leg back in, change the strap to the other side, straighten your right leg out, press the heel away, and take the left hand onto the left thigh, press it away. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, simply tilt that left leg over to the right side. Good, take 4 breaths here. Keep pressing the heel, keep drawing the leg in on the exhale. One more round of breath. Good. After the exhale, bring your leg back to center, bend the knee, remove the strap, we won't need it from now on, and just circle your ankle. Make sure that it feels nice and relaxed. Circle the other way. And from here again, take your left hand onto your left knee, your right hand onto your shin, and circle that right leg. Make sure that the hip joint, or rather where your leg bone meets your hip, feels okay as you do this. And it should feel pretty good because we've opened it up on every single side. So circle it the other way, take a deep breath in and out. And then from here, draw both knees into your chest and give them a deep squeeze inwards. And from here, we're going to extend our left leg out. We're just going to do a little bit of core stuff just to get some strength and heat going here, mostly because I'm cold. And interlace your hands around that right leg. Lift your chest up off the floor and see if you can get your shoulder blades up off the floor. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sharply sigh out of your mouth and swap legs. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. And just keep going. 2 more. Good. And from here, take both knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. Take your hands behind the backs of your legs and rock yourself up to Navasana, to a boat pose. If you need a little bit of support here, you can bring your hands beside you, or behind you rather. And otherwise, just hold this position. And you might like to see if you can straighten your legs and extend your arms and just hold here for 3 breaths. You should feel nice and strong and solid doing this. And the same technique applies with those heels. So press them away and you'll notice your legs straighten. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. 1 more. And then gently take your hands underneath your knees, bring your feet together, remove rocks off of your mat. And from here, we're going to draw those feet in towards us. Take a hold of the ankles and take a deep breath into the belly and into the chest. Before we exhale and slowly tilt ourselves forward, drive your arms down into your legs. And take 3 deep breaths. Now, instead of pressing the heel away here, what I want you to do is press the top of your head away. Extend that away, and that will lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you're just drawing your chest closer towards your feet. Take 1 more round of breath. Nice. Then gently press into your feet, lift your spine up, and from here extend your legs out and notice that they should feel nice and open in the backs of them, in their hamstrings. So that's a good thing. Let's inhale, float our arms up. And as you exhale, reach your arms out in front of you, bring them onto your feet, and fold your body down. Just feel your body relax here. Take 3 deep breaths. Again, inhale, press those heels away, but also extend out through the top of your head. And as you exhale, draw your chest closer towards your knees. After that third exhale, inhale to sweep your arms out in front of you and then up to the sky or the ceiling. And exhale your hands down through to your heart center. So we've worked into the legs, we've worked into the hips, we've worked into the shoulders, we've done a little bit of core stuff. Now we're going to open up the back and we're going to do a little bit more dynamic sequencing to get the blood pumping and us feeling good. When you're ready, cross your ankles over, come onto your hands and your knees into a tabletop position. And from here, draw your toes under, drop your belly down and curl into your cow pose. As you exhale, flatten your feet out, curl your back upwards, your spine to the ceiling or the sky, and draw your chin under for cat. Keep flowing. Let's do 4 more rounds. And start to feel into your body and notice if the stretching of those and the opening of the shoulders and the hips and the legs makes a difference in this pose. Makes a difference in this pose, rather. Notice if you feel more open or if you still feel tight anywhere. And notice how your spine feels in comparison. It's probably just starting to open up now. Which is great. That's what we want. Inhale back to a neutral position. And from here, we're going to start to circle the hips. So we're going to draw our hips back towards our heels and open them up to the other side and then draw them all the way around again. So we're just drawing a nice big circle to work out any last little kinks here. And then we'll move in the opposite direction. And before we move into those sequences that I mentioned, I've got one last stretch for the calves here that I want us to do. So when you're ready, just draw your knees together, draw your toes under, and gently press your heels back towards, your hips back towards your heels. You should feel a stretch in your Achilles and in the calf region. Just take a deep breath in here, and a slow breath out. And then bring yourself forward, flatten your feet out, and come and sit back onto your heels. Take a deep breath in, and a slow breath out. And then gently lift your knees up off the floor, stretching into the fronts of your feet. Now we've maxed all this out. We've done everything we can do to stretch into every part of our legs. Now we're going to do some more dynamic stretching, come into a plank pose, and just hold here for 5 breaths to heat up your arms and your body. Engage your core every time you exhale. Keep pressing down into your hands. And then take your final deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to as you exhale, I want you to draw your shoulders forward and beyond your wrists, and then bend at the elbows and bring yourself down onto your belly and your chest. If you used your knees there, great, that's good too. Come up onto your fingertips and bring them just underneath your shoulders. Press your feet down into the floor, and we're going to do a little cobra here. As you do so, extend out through the top of your head. So inhale, lifting up just a little bit. And as you exhale, draw your spine back down onto your mat. On your next breath in, lift up just a little bit higher. Breathing in, lift up. As you exhale, roll that spine down. Let's do 2 more. And I want you to go to a maximum of 70% of your capacity today. So don't crank it too far. One more. Good. Flatten your hands out onto your mat. Inhale up into a plank. And from here, come back into your first downward facing dog. And spread those fingers out wide. Allow space for your shoulders to kind of draw down into your back. And just pedal your knees out left to right. And notice how open and flexible your hamstrings feel just from having done those openers at the beginning of the class. Keep breathing here. Keep walking your feet left to right. And on your next breath in, we're going to inhale our heels and our hips up towards the ceiling or the sky. And as you exhale, drive your heels down, press into your hands and send your hips back. Do that 2 more times. Breathing in, lift up. And exhale back. Good. Inhale forward into your plank. And as you exhale, once again, move your shoulders beyond your wrists and lower yourself down. Nice. Flatten your feet out on the floor. This time, inhale up to 70%. Reach out through the top of your head and hold here. Press your feet down into the floor. Squeeze those shoulders together. And let's take 3 breaths. Using our back muscles and using their strength. One more. After the exhale, lower yourself down, tuck your toes under, inhale to lift yourself up to plank. Exhale back to down dog. And from here, walk your feet left to right, all the way to the top of your mat. Inhale up into a halfway lift. Lengthen your spine, reach up through the top of your head. And as you exhale, bend your knees and roll your spine all the way down. Uttanasana. Let's take 2 more breaths like that. So inhaling up into a halfway lift, reaching out through the top of the head, and exhaling, bending the knees and rolling down, relaxing and releasing the spine. One more. Good. Release your hands down to the floor. Now to stretch the upper back, we're going to interlace the 2nd and 3rd finger around the big toes. And as you inhale, we're lifting up into a halfway lift, stretching our arms and our back. As you exhale, bend your knees and draw yourself down, bending at the elbows. Take 2 more breaths like that. Inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling, drawing down. One more. Nice. Release your feet. From here, generously bend the knees. And when you're ready, curl your spine vertebrae by vertebrae up to a standing position. Breathe it in. Once you're up, you might like to roll your shoulders a couple of times. And when you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, float them down. 2 more like that. Breathing in. And exhale, float them down. 1 more. Nice. The last little stretch we're going to do here is in the side body. So the upper arms and the sides of the body here haven't been stretched yet. So that's what we're going to work into. I want you to interlace your fingers. Index fingers are connected and pointing forward. So it's like a pistol grip. And thumbs are connected too. And from here, you're going to sweep your arms up. Reach your hands as high as you can. And then see how my arms are up in my shoulders and up in my neck, I just want to drop my arms down, create space for my neck here. Press your feet down into the floor, press your heels down, engage your thigh muscles. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, reach your hands and tilt or lean over to that right side. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Let's do 2 more like that. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. 1 more round. Good. Come back to center and just exhale your hands down through to your heart. We're going to close this class with Tadasana, with mountain pose. Tadasana looks like this, but there's a little bit more to it. And I'm going to teach you that today, in case you don't know it already. What I'd like you to do is press your feet firmly into the floor, spread your toes out so that your grip is nice and strong. Gently drive those heels down into the floor, almost as though you're making yourself heavier. And I like to think of the space underneath my knees as being really, really heavy, and I'm just driving it down through that heaviness. Engage the muscles of your thighs. That's it. Engage the muscles of your core just a little bit. Roll your shoulders back behind you. Turn your palms to face forward. And then draw your chin inwards so as to extend the back of your spine. The spine at the back of the neck. Can you feel that as you draw your chin in? Nice. Relax the tops of your shoulders. And let's hold here for 10 breaths, just to tune into the effects that this practice has had on our bodies. You can either close your eyes or simply soften your gaze and find a spot on the floor in front of you that isn't moving, that you can kind of just let your gaze blur out to. And then take a deep breath in, into your belly and into your chest. Let's start with cleansing breaths. So exhaling out of your mouth. Let's do 2 more before we do our count of 10 regular breaths. Keep those thighs engaged. If you need to take a few more of those, feel welcome to. Otherwise, close your mouth and just breathe in and out through your nostrils. And become aware of the space underneath your feet, the space underneath your big toes, space underneath the rest of your toes, all the way to the pinky toes. Become aware of the space underneath the balls of your feet. The outer edges of both feet. The inner edges of both feet. And then the weight in your heels. Imagine that these are the roots of your posture, and that from the feet you're drawing up strength, just like a mountain, all the way out through the legs, into your core, and then your trunk, and all the way out through the top of your head. And imagine that the earth's energy is rising up through your feet and flowing through your body all the way out through the top of your head. And as you do that, you might like to reach out through the top of the head just to empower this visualization. Take 3 final breaths here and just feel into your body. And feel grateful for the time that you've spent on this mat, the way that your body has opened up and responded to you. And for the strength and groundedness that you feel right now. You can stay here longer if you'd like. Otherwise, that completes this class. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Te Whare o Kia. I appreciate your time and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.